You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
What's up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to another All Talk with your old mates, Tom and Eddie. Coming to you thanks to our old mates as well. Good Day Daily Multivitamins.
That's right. GoodDayOz.com.au. Yes, the website has changed. Read a book. Keep up. Listen, all your multivitamin and electrolyte needs. One sachet into water every day, down the gob. Super, super simple. It's that simple. It's literally that simple.
It's that simple.
Tom, who have we got today?
We got Yvonne Sampson. Punters and dribblers, a trailblazer in Rugby League, a phenomenal host, journalist,
Presenter.
That's, and a very, very nice lady.
And a great yarner.
Great yarn.
Just like at the core of it, Tom, at the very essence of it all, just a terrific yarner.
Well, you can tell you've had a good yarn when you have notes and you just don't get to them. Like, as in the conversation just flows.
Dude,
to where
it just
flows nice.
This one flows.
Yeah.
This one flows. It flows, and I loved it. And I love it when they flow, and I love it when it flows because it's just so much easier.
Yeah, it is. Well, it makes it a lot easier. Enjoy this one, punters and dribblers. The great Yvonne Sampson.
I mean, I love the Bears, and everyone loves the Bears. Who doesn't love the Bears?
Yeah.
I hope, putting some thought behind it. So the very first game of Rugby League, 1908, down at Birchgrove Oval, was the Rabbitohs and the Bears. So I hope that their first game in Perth or wherever it may be is South Sydney and the Bears. That would be a nice way to reintroduce them into the NRL.
Seriously.
And they could make a bit. And it was nice to see Mal and Wayne together. They did that joint presser a few weeks ago. So I think there's a lot of romance around the Bears, and I think a lot of people can get into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that makes some signings and we've got a team.
Seriously. Who's your team?
Broncos.
Impartial.
Yeah, no, definitely not impartial. I was crying and carrying on last year at the grand final. Shameless.
Oh, I would though. As I've gotten older, like we're Manly fans, and I'm like, I would cry now. I've never cried before, but I reckon if Manly
I think
now,
we got, well, at least in our situation, the older you get, the more context you have around how hard they are to win.
Well, 15 was bad.
Yeah.
23 was worse.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know which was worse, really. Like,
yeah, I mean, 15 in terms of a grand final. That's my favourite grand final.
but it was done.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was done.
Were you working that one as well?
Yeah, I was on the sideline for Wide World of Sports.
Holy shit.
And the plan was, because remember
You were working.
Yeah, I was working, yeah. And because I was born in Townsville, but Cowboys went around, back in the Middle Ages when I was born. But so the plan was for Wide World of Sports. So, and it was this first all Queensland grand final, and I think ANZ Stadium, as it was called at that stage, they were like, it's not going to have any atmosphere. It was heaving. There were caravans and horse wagons and everyone just making their way down south of the border. And it was a phenomenal atmosphere. And I've watched Origins and I've watched grand finals there, but that 15 grand final in terms of intensity was phenomenal. And then the game was amazing.
You were there as well, weren't you? We were all there.
It was just great.
Crazy.
So the plan was on the sideline. So I was there for Wide World of Sports, and we had Gordy and we had Darren Lockyer. So if Cowboys won, the plan was Gordy rushes out and grabs all the Cowboy blokes, like gets JT and gets Matt Scott and whoever, Kyle Felt. But if the Broncos won, Lockyer was supposed to go and grab all the Broncos. Anyway, so then the final, that Ben Hunt knocks on, they set the scrum, JT kicks a field goal. Gordy runs on with his arms in the air like he's just won a trophy. No microphone, just runs on to celebrate. And Lockie's there with his head in his hands. So I'm like, okay, I'm up. All right. So I grabbed the microphone, and you would have seen Tony Chalmers. He's our floor manager. He organises everything. And he's like, quick, grab me. And he sort of pushed me towards JT, who was like this, he was just in this altered state of whatever was going on. Yeah. And I'm super disorientated, and it's the worst interview I've ever done in my whole life. But we're just kind of like circling. It was like we'd gone into this bizarre thing where I was like, oh my God, that was a getting in. He's like, oh my God, and people are jumping all over us. Yeah, but it was like such a...
It's a tough position to interview someone.
Yeah, shocking interview. Like I did my job so badly. But it was amazing to be there.
Yeah.
And even to see Sam Thaiday, he was sitting, I remember we sat down, he was just sitting on the grass, and I sat down with him and did an interview there, and he was just, heartbroken. 15 was 15 was great to be a part of.
But was it hard for you though, being a fan, or are you able to be like,
No,
you're
it's
okay
all right.
to sort of like,
yeah.
I'd be rat's ass if I had to do that and Manly had lost like that. I'd be like, I can't.
I'd be like Joey after Origin, just stop speaking.
We just walked out.
Yeah.
That was such a cracking game. Were you on sideline for many games?
I used to do a really bad job at
Channel
sideline.
9?
So I started doing sideline for Channel 9 and then and hosting at the same time. So depending on the game. Remember we used to have the B game or the Brisbane game on delay on a Friday night?
Yes.
So it would go live into Queensland, but you'd have it on replay.
That's
down
right.
here.
Isn't that a funny world where that was fine?
And
nowadays you'd be like, I'm not fucking watching this thing an hour late. What
Yeah.
are we talking
I
about?
already know the result. What am I doing this?
You couldn't check your phone, and they also used to delay the Sunday game. So the Sunday game would start at like 3, but it would air at 4, so they could run right up tight.
Well, because
it
had to butt nice and neatly into the 6 p.m. bulletin, which is the greatest foundation of all our news source. Is it's just goes to show how quickly the media has changed. And you guys at the forefront of that as well. But yeah, so I used to host all our Queensland games, and it was amazing. It was an amazing time in my career, and I found sideline really hard. Like I remember I was at Brookie once, and Marty Tapau came off, Tapau, but he was Tapau back then. And Rabs threw down to me, and he goes, Martin's come off the field, Yvonne. And I went, And Marty's standing right there, and he's just given this massive chunder. And I go, I don't mean to be rude, Rabs, but he's just had a massive spew, and and that's it. I don't know.
I can't give you anything here.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's wrong with him.
We were actually talking to Cooper Johns the other day, and he was saying that his old man, because he does a bit of sideline, he said his old man was just like, you just make it up. He's like, it's a tough job, sideline. So he's just like, he would just
Because you wouldn't
make
know
it
necessarily
up.
when they're coming to you. Is that sort of it as well? Like
No, well, then they say, he's grabbing at his shoulder. What's wrong? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, he's limping. I don't know. Like, yeah, it is hard. But like Lara and Jake, like they do such a good job. Like, and they don't make theirs up. I would sort of, even after half time, they'd say, what did the coach say? I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't allowed in.
Yeah,
Like,
no one's actually. That's I've always found that funny as well. It's like they just the way that they'll deliver like this really nuanced. Like, he was saying this, is this? I'm like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
I've spoken to the coach. Surely.
I was certainly not my strength on the sideline, but yeah, lucky enough, I got my opportunities hosting and sitting beside. I remember my first hosting. It must have been a Titans game, and I was so nervous. I actually lost feeling in my legs. Same thing happened when I hosted State of Origin. I was like really nervous, and I had Sterlo beside me, and then I realised like Sterlo's like such a ultimate pro, and he's like still the way he reads the game is just phenomenal. And I felt really safe. So once you've got someone, like a little safety pony, that like if I just went orienteering, Sterlo was going to bring us back. So I felt a lot better after that. But yeah, I mean, still, like when I first started, I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting beside Gus and Joey and
this
Freddie
like all-time
Wally
commentary team.
Well, what the hell's happened? How am I here? This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, did you again, like sometimes Wikipedia can send you in the wrong direction when you're sort of trying to find a bit of information. But it had told me that Wendell Saylor had some involvement in getting you your first gig in media.
So weird. So I was doing, I did journalism at QT in Brisbane, and my dad, he was a butcher by trade. So we grew up as Balmain Tigers fans because he was a butcher from Balmain. And so, it was like Blocker and Benny and Ciro and like that. That's how I sort of was indoctrinated into rugby league. And then I remember in 88 when the Broncos started up, I asked Dad if I could, would it be okay if I supported this new team called the Broncos? And his heart broke. Like, he was
Really?
As it would.
Yeah, he's like, fine. Because we were all like, we're in Queensland.
Yeah.
So, that's just, and it was such a glorious time to be a Queenslander. And then the Broncos had that early success. So there was really no question about who I was going to support. But poor old Dad, he just rolled with it. Anyway. And so Dad ended up driving taxis after he retired from butchering. And he picked up Dell down at Mooloolaba at like Fridays or something. Very on brand. And Dad didn't mind a chat. Obviously, Dell doesn't mind a chat, so they were just talking. And Dad was like, "Oh, my daughter's about to finish journalism at QT, and she wants to be a sports journalist." And Dell said, like, "Oh, well, you should give her get her to give Tony Durkin a buzz, who was the media manager at the Broncos. And so I gave Durko a buzz, and he put me up for my first little story. I think it was with Billy Moore. And then from there, I was able to get a bit of work experience in the local newsroom on the Sunshine Coast. And
How good's that?
yeah,
Dell.
Dell.
just
Isn't that
networking.
crazy? I know. That's so funny.
Bit of Dell networking. I love that. Did I read somewhere as well in the early days that you used to cover pigeon racing?
Yeah, anything.
What?
Yeah, out in the
I
regions.
love that.
Yeah, anything. I'd cover anything. I
Yeah.
loved all sport. Like I
Yeah.
loved rugby league and racing, horse racing. But when you're straight out of uni,
Yeah.
You just want to do as much as you can.
well, you just cover sport, right?
Yeah.
So
That's right.
I worked like Maryborough, Bundaberg, Harvey Bay, Townsville, Mackay. So anything like pigeon racing.
And so are you like when you're covering pigeon
do you
racing? Are
cover
you, are you
pigeon
talking about
racing?
like great pigeons? You're like, this pigeon is like
Yeah, they do. And you go to the breeders and they go, well, this is my champion one. And I forget how they run it now, but, they release them all and then they all race and they've got to get to a certain point A back to point B. And
I've never looked into pigeon racing. It's something that's just always been existed, and I've never really because I can't even truly fathom how it works.
They
So
they home. They
Yeah.
know where their home is. So I think it's like you release them at the same distance, and it's the quickest back. Or
yeah,
something like
the
that.
quickest, maybe the first one or the flock or
Or the-
whatever.
yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know, can't remember. But yeah, it was great. Anything. And sailing and soccer and AFL and I loved it all, but
Yeah.
you're just doing your best.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, it was always a treat when got to, and even local footy. Like I loved all the local A grade, especially on the Sunshine Coast, through the Sunny Coast and Gympie Rugby League. It was so good. I remember the biggest thing was that Noel Goldthorpe signed with the Noosa Pirates, and it was the biggest story I'd ever done. And I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
How were you treated back then covering bush footy?
You know what? Great. Like the people that I would work with from the clubs, they were fantastic. I'd call them and say, what do you got on this weekend? Who's a bit of a yarn? That's, I've only come out and do this, or got a young kid on debut. Do you want to talk to him or whatever it was? And it was really the pushback really only, or the sort of dismissal really only came from inside the newsroom.
Really?
Yeah, from like news directors who were like, you sure you don't want to do weather or something?
Yeah, right.
Weather?
No,
I don't know.
not really.
I don't like weather. I don't know anything about weather. I don't want to talk about footy.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk
notice-
about
did
wind
you-
or footy? Like, what are we
Could
talking
you
about?
sense that, or was it just something where you were like, no? What? Like, was it obvious that was sort of pushback you were receiving, or was it like?
Oh, no, that was direct feedback.
It was direct.
Yeah,
like,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it was like, I know I've lost multiple jobs, where they say, oh, we don't think you're serious. Sport's never going to work for a young female.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, something that's just completely changed though, but in no small part because of your own involvement. I know you're a humble person, but are you aware at all of or conscious of the fact of the position you've played in women in media, particularly in rugby league?
It is really nice to see when I have young women who are either graduating high school or university and they say, hey, listen, I want to be a sports journalist. What do you reckon? And so they'll send me an email and we get them in to do work experience, or I reach out to my old contacts at 9 or 7 or and just sort of get them more exposure. I think that's what I didn't have was I had Dell, thank God.
And shout out to Dell.
Yeah, and shout out to Dell.
Yes.
But for sure, I feel like because of I was just lucky with timing. I think also fans were at a point where they didn't push back so hard on hearing a female on the broadcast. So I don't think I'm any different or special or anything that hadn't already come before. It was just a timing thing, really, because we'd had women around the game. Margie McDonald is still reporting in the game. She's been there since forever, and Debbie Spillane and. There were so many women. Rebecca Wilson, they were all around. It worked.
You were just but they were definitely around. You weren't the first woman in rugby league, but you certainly were. I mean, you were the first female to anchor the State of Origin, which is that's what I mean. So there is still. It was. You couldn't have maybe got to where you got to without those other women, but this still felt like it was like another.
Yeah, and it felt. I'd never really thought about it. I think because I'm an only child and I grew up riding horses, and so you just compete against everyone equally. So and because Dad always treated me like an equal, I had to go fix the fences and do whatever he needed to do. So I was never really treated differently from anyone else, and so it was weird when I'd start my professional career, and that's how we really don't want a female sports reporter, or we really don't. I have had an executive say, we love what you do, but a female's voice shouldn't be the first one we hear on Rugby League. And you go,
That was said.
okay, yeah. And you think, that's weird. I don't lead with my gender. Do you know? Like, I
for sure.
So hopefully I'm a good host, or and I can contribute to the broadcast in some way. But it is funny when someone just sort of brings it back to your gender, and you're like, that's weird. Like, it would be weird if I go, God, you guys do a good job for for men.
Yeah,
for sure. It's something that we've thought of, we've discussed in a similar vein. I think it was with Millie Boyle when she was on, but there's it's sort of like a double-edged sword where it's like the fact you were the first female to host State of Origin is an amazing achievement in and of itself. But even when I first heard it, I was like, I'd never even considered that was a thing.
Yeah. And hopefully that's where we've reached, right? It shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully I was the best host they had at that stage.
Exactly.
And yeah, hopefully I did a great job.
Yeah. When you heard feedback like that, what does that just fire you up? Does it piss you off? Like,
I'm pretty
what's the
stubborn,
emotion?
so I'm like, like my internal dialogue is like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of rejection, and then you sort of just find a redirection, right? So if someone says, hey, listen, I don't think you're for us, or we've already got a female in our sports department, or we just don't think that you're a fit, that's fine.
Do you think that you've been held to a different standard throughout your career?
Yeah, I've heard a lot
in the sense of like, I think a lot of women in, let's just use the sports media space, are brilliant, but like exceptional, most of, or if not all of them. But like, do you think that that's because subconsciously or even consciously you feel like you need to be
for sure
more exceptional than maybe your male counterparts?
The bandwidth for my errors is as great.
Yeah.
So if I mess it up, everyone's like, boo, ladies ruining everything, who let them in? So I feel, and again with the State of Origin thing, it was like first female, I was like, felt like so much pressure for the sisterhood. I was like, I won't let us down, girls. I might do, I don't know. I hope I don't. But yeah, I think that being held to a higher standard, and I think most women feel that, in doesn't matter what industry they're in, but yeah, certainly and I make mistakes all the time. I hardly ever get a clean segment out, and I'm like, I drive home and I think, why did I say that? I should have done this, or I should have been quicker there.
Really? So you're brutal on yourself in that way?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever driven home and gone, nailed it.
Maybe one day.
I don't know.
But what's messing up for you? Is that like stumbling on your words?
Yeah,
or
anything, or wrong question, or jumped in wrong time, or or just flat out got something wrong. Like
we wouldn't sleep if we were that hard on ourselves.
I wouldn't sleep again. I'm like,
we'd be fucked. Oh God!
Like even the other day, I said, Reece Walsh is the incumbent kangaroo and Maroon's fullback, and I went home and I went, he didn't play last year in Origin. Idiot.
Yeah, right.
And
I would have believed you.
No, but you're like, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah,
mate.
I know what you mean, but I guess you're obviously your own harshest critic, and it's probably why you are as good as you are, and anyone in that space, I think, because you hold yourself to a high standard, let alone what anyone else is doing. Punters and dribblers, we have got our Four Pines event at Landers Pocket next Thursday, 14th of May. Longest drive competition, putt-putt competitions. It's also Seb's birthday, not a big deal. That's kicking off from 6 p.m. There is a link to get tickets in the bio. Go there or be square.
And you don't want to be square.
No,
not before Magic Round. You want to warm up properly. Trust me, as a man with a bad back, as a man with back ailments, you must warm up. You must. And this is how we're doing it this year, baby. Landers Pocket. Tickets in bio, warm up together. You do not want to pull your back going into Magic Round.
Let's Oge. Punters and Dribbles, we are brought to you by our good friends at Ned's. As always, big round of Rugby League coming up this weekend.
Huge!
And listen, this is our bet. This is our bet for the weekend. Feel free to take it if you want, leave it if you want. But the Broncos are decimated. They are. They're decimated with injury, and they also hate playing at Brookvale, which is where they're playing this weekend. And you know who they're playing against? That's right, the mighty Manly Seagulls. Now, Manly 13 plus.
The 320.
320.
Yeah.
320. We beat them 36-6 last year.
Yeah, we did. And we weren't that good then.
No.
We're
and now
so
we're really
hot to
good.
trot now.
We took Penrith to the bloody, all the way.
Again, haven't beaten Manly at Brookie since 2010. So this is just manna from heaven.
Yeah, it
as
is.
far as I'm concerned.
Fogarty back. Everyone's firing. I mean, you eat it up.
You do. You gobble it up. It's Big Bear and porridge stuff.
Correct. Anyway, if you're going to do it, obviously do it responsibly, punters and dribblers, but we do it with Neds. And shout out to Neds for supporting the podcast. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website. I see you on the desk on like a Super Saturday or whatever, and you've just got notes.
Oh, it's like a beautiful mind.
I'm like, how much preparation do you do so that because again, like, and you can, I don't know how much you're aware of like what player you're going to get grabbed after the game or what's going on, but I always just see the way you will just ask a question off the cuff, or it's like it goes one way and you're drawing on all this knowledge you have, and I'm like, this is the most prepared human being on camera I've ever seen. No, but truthfully, and I'm like, how much work goes into getting yourself ready for that?
Yeah, I really, I read as much as I can. I listen to as much as I can. When I was working in the newsrooms, I used to go out to all the training sessions, and often it wasn't the coach or the players that would give you stuff. It's usually the support staff, the bloke who runs the oranges out.
Yeah,
they're the gold.
They got the gold.
They've got the gold. And they don't mind a bit of a chat. So, the gear guy, like, hey, what's, that's, and you're like, interesting.
Yeah, okay.
And it was really good to sort of get across the ecosystem of rugby league and how it all works. And so I was really appreciative of those years that I spent in the newsroom, and it honed my news sense. So when you do have a player, and you've got to try, and you've got 30 seconds to work out what you're going to say to them. I feel like I've read enough through the week, or I've listened to enough through the week, or I've
Sorry about the
dig down,
we've got a few barflies.
Fruit flies. Dug down deep enough that you can go, okay, well, this is what he said last week. Let's push on with that. Or if you've got a few stats in front of you. So, the messy pages. And to answer your original question, I write everything out.
That's what it looked like. I was trying to
write everything out because I can't trust myself.
Is that a way of rope remembering before you?
I reckon.
Yeah.
Because I think when players, especially when they're freshly retired, and they'll jump on the set and they'll look at my notes and they'll go, oh. And then they'll think that they have to write something. And
you're just putting it all out there to wig everyone out.
No, it's only because I feel like if I crash the bus, if I drive us off a cliff, everyone's going down with me. So I can't afford to sort of get the wobbles. But then like Joey, right, he'd rock up and like he'd look at the rundown, throw it away, or, draw a dick on it. So that, and yet then he would have the most insane insight to something where you're like, that's incredible. And like, it won't surprise you to know that Michael Ennis writes a lot of notes.
Yes.
Cooper writes some notes, but then like there's others who don't like to prepare and they get all in their head about it, and then they'll just sit on the desk and
go for it.
And go for it.
You're almost like you're the example of what they should be like. That you're almost like when Sonny Bill Williams goes to a club and everyone's like, holy shit, he's stretching. He's in early and he's stretching. Fuck, I better start doing the right thing here.
No. I just have to do it because I feel like if I don't get us away cleanly, then I've failed miserably.
How long does that take, that preparation piece? Like, are you doing that the night before, day of?
So like, Thursday night I started doing my stuff last night for tonight, because I knew I was coming here. But like say we're on for an hour and a half pre-game on a Thursday night, that'll take me about 5 hours prep.
Wow.
And like notes and notes. And
notes and notes.
And what's your process, if you don't mind me asking?
Like it's literally like hello and welcome to your Thursday night league. Like I write everything out because I feel it's that rote thing that you touched on, because I feel like even though I don't read it, if it's there, it's almost like a safety blanket.
Yep.
Plus I'm a control freak. So it makes me feel like
you're in control of the situation.
Somewhat control.
Yeah.
And like the rundown can change. That's fine. And that's, stories change and players change, and being able to transition seamlessly in and out of that. Not a drama, but I feel like if I haven't done the preparation, I'm going to fail. It probably comes out. So riding horses, if you don't, it's not practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So if you don't do it correctly through the week, you're going to get what you deserve on the weekend. And I think that's sort of where it's come from. Yeah.
That's interesting. What was you a competitive horse riding when you were?
Yeah, loved
younger?
it. Yeah. My grandfather was a racehorse trainer, so he'd give me the slow thoroughbreds, and I'd turn them into like pony club horses or show jumpers or dressage horses. And I ended up going a little bit more into dressage. I was on the Australian Young Riders dressage squad. Then we come down here and train with the Olympic coach, Clemens Dirks, who's like this really mean-spirited German guy. He'd sit there and pop Valium and just like say
like
mean
character
things.
in a film.
Which is probably, and it actually says a lot about
mean-spirited German guy is the dressage coach who just pops Valiums and yells at people.
Yeah, it's the best. And it says a lot about the kind of men I respond to now. I'm like, got it, that sort of feedback. And so, I was really lucky to have horses in my life. And we've still got some race horses now, which is great. But I think that discipline and that repetitive stuff, that's probably how I've sort of approached my career as well. And I think going through school, I was always the one that would have to sit beside the naughty boy, and we call them naughty, but it's like they probably had ADHD.
Yeah,
which we didn't know at the
school not exactly built for people who can't pay attention.
Right, but you know what? Perfect preparation for what I do now. Like now I realise this is actually
bit of crossover,
great.
bit of synergy.
I totally get it.
Trying to wrangle a bunch of naughty boys.
Yeah. You get Joey drawing dicks on you.
Oh, that's funny.
So how are your horses going? Because we've got one now.
I know.
That's his birth
Fan of the
certificate
game. So
behind you.
how?
Heard of him?
Yeah.
Here he is.
Oh, heard of him. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
He won his first trial.
Oh,
last
did
trial.
you?
Yeah.
Well, he got third in his first trial
Sorry,
and he
you're right,
won his
second
second trial.
Right. And so when are you going to have your first start?
I think Tuesday.
In
Whereabouts?
Bathurst.
Bathurst.
Yep. Which is where we sort of met for university. We were at the same school, but he was here below me.
Yeah,
but like when we became
it's
pals.
like where we started dating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Our first winner, my husband and I, was for the Freedmans at Bathurst. And
You're kidding.
if we drove all the way out there because we were so excited, and she was like $1.70 favourite. And you go back and look at the replay. Chris runs down, so it's like, here she comes. Hell Sonic, right? We were in it with Neil Breen and maybe someone else, Sam Burgess in that one, I don't know. And Hell Sonic comes down the straight, and there's Chris, because in those country tracks there's like kids down on the fence.
Yes.
And Chris is running down with his arms in the air, pushing the kids out of the way to celebrate at the winning post.
And you won.
We won. $1.70. Got upstairs, had some lovely little triangle sandwiches in the
so
winner's
this was
room.
in Bathurst with the Richard Friedman?
Yes.
This is our exact same.
He chains up.
There you
Okay,
go.
this is
You're
coming
gonna love
together.
it.
It's almost
You're
a
gonna love
sign
No, it is a sign that it's definitely going to win.
that we should go.
Well, yeah, that we should go.
Definitely make the effort.
Well, the problem, so we're going to Magic Round on Thursday, and we've just
Yes.
been in PNG, and we've got wives and children, and then we're like, we've now also just got a shoehorn in a quick trip to Bathurst on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's just about getting the timing right on dropping something like that. So we've only just got back from PNG, so I'm just going to let
Yeah,
it.
we're
How
giving
was
it a
your
couple of
Kentucky
days.
tour to PNG, by the way?
It was fantastic.
Yes.
Listen, it was like a mixture of it was like there was some real like sadness to it in terms of, like, we got to meet all these wonderful like young kids that was super poor, and you saw all this side to it, but there was also kind of something uplifting around, or there was something hopeful about what the potential of a team might do. Everyone's in a footy jersey. They were all running. We went down to the beach. They were all training just because it was a Monday night. Like, it wasn't even like, it didn't feel like an organised team thing. They were like, we run Broncos on Mondays and Tuesdays. So like there was so much rugby league obsession there that you're like, this could only be good. It could only be good. And it's way more interesting than a fucking Ipswich Jets team. You know what I mean? Like there's
a beautiful narrative around rugby league and what it could do, not just, for inclusivity and things like that, but for PNG as a whole, culturally, and for opportunities, education, to raise awareness. So there's a beautiful documentary called Power Mary, and Joanne Lester, who was working for the NRL in Port Moresby, I think it follows the very first PNG Orchids team, so the women's team, and they played in the World Cup in 2017. And she just started filming with these women. And so, as you know, the poverty there is quite confronting. And these women, all they had was a love of the game and a rugby league jersey that looked like they'd gotten from a donation shop. And Joanne follows this beautiful team of women. They leave their little sort of, tin shanties. They pick up their babies. They go to the training ground. They put their babies down on a hessian sack on the side of the field and they do some training. And they're trying to learn the game of rugby league. And all they want to do is play the game and represent their country. And it's like it sets you up for this fairy tale. You're like, oh, my God, these women who have so little, but they love rugby league so much and what it means to them. And it follows their journey. And now they got pumped like 60 blot, right? So there was no fairy tale for these women. And not only that, but the men were highly embarrassed about how badly they were representing PNG on the world stage, and there was a lot of backlash and sexism, and it was a really tough time for the women, but they had nothing, right? But the fairy tale turns out, what are we, almost 10 years later, that the children of those women can now grow up and be a chief if they want to, and potentially play in the NRL, and bring pride to their country and bring pride to their communities, and it is truly life changing. And I think if people want to, I don't know why people are so upset about the tax thing. Like,
oh no,
like
seriously.
This is bizarre. It's such a bigger conversation than tax breaks. Like, I know a woman who works in TV in Queensland who wrote her boob job off for tax. So I don't know why everyone is so offended about tax-free dollars in PNG. Why are we so why do we care about the bookkeeping? Like, I think you've got to step outside the money bit for a second, just realise the power of the game, and let's leave China out of this, but the power of the game and what it could do for the people of PNG. And I think that's
I think people are missing a lot of the time.
Well, but like it feels like most people aren't missing it. But
the loud
minority are missing it. And no one gave a shit when it was just spoken about, the tax thing. It was only once it was put into practice and you get Jerome Luai and everyone's like, oh, wait a minute, this thing's a bit... This is now real.
Well, before that, it was like, oh, you're going to need that to get anyone to go there. And then Jerome Signs is like, oh.
Yeah. And every club took $4 million. So they're all complicit in the whole thing. They're all like, it's like you took the money, you've accepted it. How can you come out now and complain you knew what was going on? But that's been the only weird thing for us in terms of having gone there. People, and again, it's not many, but it's like, you're a shill. I'm like, what do you think we're doing? Like, we're a sports podcast and we're going over for 24 hours. Like, what do you think we're going to get shown when we go over there? Do you think you're going to take us to like a shelter? Like, we're going to see the ground and we're going to go see where they live.
But it gives you context for your job, which is to talk about the game and the expansion of the game. So now you have on-ground experience that you can now put into the conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and honestly, it was cool. It was really cool. And like, there are definitely going to be challenges. And we were even saying, it's like, you're going to probably struggle to get a 22-year-old more than you are a 29-year-old who has a wife and kids, because you have your whole support system there with you.
In this it's not a compound, in the resort. And like, if you've got a family, then your families can mix, and I think that would be a lot easier. If you were just a young kid, I think it would be tough, personally. Unless you were so disciplined and focused and you were just like, I'm just going to lock it on footy for the next couple of years, then I think it would be advantageous. But otherwise, it would be tough, I think.
But I think for those younger opportunities, that should come from local talent.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they've been playing in the Q Cup for how many years now? And there's some Super League talent that would like to come home.
For sure. I think the plan is to have a pretty strong PNG contingent. But in the years to come, we were saying, like, you'd see these kids running the Broncos on the beach, like in whatever time period it is, 10, 15 years, they're going to be a handful.
Yeah.
PNG, like a real handful.
Which would be so good to see.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was talking to Elsie Albert. I don't know if you're across. She plays for Parramatta. And Elsie comes from a tiny village.
She used to play for the Dragons at some point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She comes from a really, very provincial, very in the mountains. They're farmers, and Elsie had to lie to her family and say that she was going to university in Port Moresby to leave. And so it's like she has to walk like a whole day and then catch a bus and then blah, 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 just to get into Port Moresby. And then she paid for her way to come to Brisbane, and that's how she started playing rugby league. She couldn't tell her family. First of all, they would have forbidden her to go.
Yeah.
And second of all, they would have been very mindful of what that looks like for a woman playing the game for their family. But now she goes back and she's like more popular than the Prime Minister Morocco.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, yes, Elsie.
Yeah,
and it's the same. Like James Seguiaro goes back. Paul Ayton. I used to play with Paul Ayton's daughter, sister Therese Ayton. This tall, could tackle anything.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
so good.
Yeah. And even when we were like, so, you know, Mace, obviously Willie Mason is Willie Mason,
Yes.
right? Larger than life. And he's humongous. But, you know, he hasn't played for 10 years at least. But like the youngest kids down at the beach were all like mobbing him and swarming him and James Graham. And it was just like.
I saw there was a kid actually named Willie Mason.
Willie Mason. That was
And
a
then
kid.
it's like Willie Mason, then whatever the kid's last name was. But
Yeah. It's,
he literally goes to him, he goes, my name's Willie Mason. And Willie goes, yeah, my name's Willie Mason as well.
But what an honour, and that's the way
Yeah.
that they show their respect. We went back to Vanuatu with Mal Meninga, back to his great-great-grandfather jumped off the rocks in this tiny little village and jumped on a ship and was basically, they call it blackbirding, but he was brought to Queensland to cut cane. So you're on minimum wage for 3 years and then you're a free man. And Mal went back to his village and there was a little kid who walked up and said, my name's Mal.
oh, wow.
And it's like 'cause
Crazy.
That's the biggest story that's come out of that tiny little village, and what a way to honour someone like Mal Meninga.
Yeah.
like it's
Well, I think, Eddie, you were even saying like the fanfare is almost, it felt a bit like India with cricket. Like the way it's just mad. They're obsessed with it. And you're like, this could only be, again, there's, you know, maybe unforeseen hurdles, but it could only be positive given how many people there are here for the game eventually. So, listen, we loved it. And that was all paid for by the PNG Chiefs, that whole segment there. So we thank Michael Chavez.
yeah.
Oh, what about Chammy? He's going
I
enormous.
know, he is. He's going great. He's a good man.
He's good. He's very, I tell you, like, not a bad first signing, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, my
It
God.
had to be a significant.
It was a ripper.
And that's, I think, the way that they did it was such a statement, and the rollout was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Jerome, the way he handled the press conference back here, and I also thought Benji was all class about it too.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
definitely. He was.
The PM even said that. Something I was talking to my mum yesterday and I was like, oh, yeah, no. And we sat down, we had sort of like coffee with the Prime Minister. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, you know, some PNG.
Oh, just a cup of tea with a
Whatever.
PM.
It's a bit of geopolitics, man, don't worry. But he was saying, he was like, I think he said he was even going to write Benji a letter to say thank you for how classy he was in handling
Yeah,
it. Because he could have gone either way. He could have kicked stones or he could have been salty, but it was like,
Yeah.
it was, he was classy.
Yeah.
And it was like an opportunity that was too good to turn down, right?
Yeah. No,
Too good.
I definitely. I'm so glad you guys did it, because then all of a sudden we're seeing a lot of different images. We're hearing a lot of different stories, and it's the way it's been executed has been top shelf. Speaking of Prime Ministers, can I deviate for a sec?
Absolutely.
So when I was working back Wide World of Sports, and unfortunately we heard that Richie Benaud had not long to go, and we were we really wanted to respectfully put together a tribute piece for when he passed. And so, you know, it was sort of our jobs to go around and interview people. And they said, so we spent a couple of weeks sort of getting all those closest and dearest to Richie to talk about him. And one of the ones I did was not John Howard, Bob Hawke. And he had his offices in the city. So I walked in and Bob's great, like, you know, just killing it, sitting down. And as we're just getting set, as you guys know, like cameras, lighting, blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh, so what do you do with yourself? And I said, oh, well, I'm a sports reporter, Mr. Hawke. You know. And then one of our producers said, oh, she's got a big future, Mr. Hawke. And he goes, I don't know about it's in front of you, but you've got a great behind.
Mr. Hawke.
Mr. Hawke.
Bob.
That's the best offer I've had all day. How good. I loved it.
Oh, my God.
So good.
That's
I
hilarious.
put a little bit of lead in my pencil for the rest of the day.
That's funny as well. There's a certain age that I think you can get to where it's like, that's funny and that's like a,
Oh, it's playing
you know
on.
what I mean? Bob
yeah.
Hawke just was like,
It was complete play on.
Yeah, yeah,
I loved it.
Different time, you know.
Bob
mate.
Hawke though was such a
Larrikin.
larrikin, larger than life character. He
Yeah.
was just,
So good.
Yeah. So were you saying you had to put a piece together for Richie?
Yeah.
Do you guys prepare those? Is there something I just heard somewhere where like you've got like almost like obituary things
Yeah, they
like
do.
ready
In
to
newsrooms,
rock?
they do. Yeah. So they have the obits ready to go.
That's morbid.
Well, because
I know
mean,
you have to, right? Because you don't want to spend
They had the one ready for the Queen for years, you know.
Oh, I bet they did. Yeah, she just kept kicking.
Yeah. So you've got to update them. But I think for major people, they usually have them ready to go and just out of respect. So when you hear that, you know, news of someone of that ilk has passed, the first thing people want to do is switch on the TV or look at your phone.
That's true.
And so you want information and to have a tribute piece ready to go is just pre-planning. It's a little bit morbid.
But no, like I understand it's worth doing. It's just always I'd heard that and I was like, fuck, that's
they do.
there's just something weird about that. Like
It's
someone's
really weird.
planning your
Yep.
funeral speech.
This episode brought to you by Good Day, Tom. You know that.
Run Club.
We have got a run club.
Run Club.
Cronulla, we're talking to you, baby. South end of the Cronulla Beach. We are meeting there at 6 a.m. this Friday, May 8th. Now,
Yes.
here's the reality. If you've got an underbelly, we say you don't, but if you do, you got to get down there and you got to rip in with us. 5Ks, it'll be slow, but it'll be jolly. We are handing out electrolytes. We are handing out multivitamins, and we will be handing out some goodie bags thanks to our friends at Bondi Active. It's unmissable stuff.
Yep.
Beautiful way to start the weekend. Get down there or run the risk of just being a big fat loser.
See you there.
My team looking for a clean sweep. Eddie's team looking to just try and post a single win on the board. Come on, Tobler. This is redemption.
Let's go. Come on, boy.
A threat for fishing, it's got to be Sebo, I reckon.
I think Sebo will be the best fisherman.
He just gives the vibe of someone that could like dive in the water and just grab a fish.
You might have something here.
I'm going to give fishing to Willie.
I think it's just a heavy sinker.
Could I see him shirtless pulling a marlin in by himself? Yeah. Yeah, I can.
Heavy sinker. Let her back down.
Oh, yeah, because just when you think it's over, the fish, there's a second wind.
Quarry City.
We on?
Oh, he's on something.
Nice, yes, Sebo.
Oh, he's a big one.
Go, Willie. Oh, Willie's on. Go, Willie. Go, Willie.
We were talking before, obviously, before you came in, but about your interviewing and how good at it we think you are. But we were wondering what advice you could pass on to a couple of young, interviewers, emerging interviewers.
Well, just young whippersnappers, wet behind the ears, still pretty green.
yeah.
Looking for any advice I can get.
No, I love your style because I've heard more things come out of this chair than I've ever heard before. So whatever you're doing, don't change. And I think it's a style that definitely works. I think you guys are you just break it down. It's very normal. You make people feel really relaxed and you certainly get the best out of people. I love talking to all the older guys because that's how I grew up. You know, like they're my heroes and that was from a time when I fell in love with the game. And I also don't want their stories to disappear. It sort of started because we'd lost Norm Prove and Arthur Summons pretty quickly. I think Tommy Radonicus was around that time as well. Artie had already gone. And we realised we'd lost a lot of that rugby league, those ornaments and
Wisdom.
and the wisdom, and we had nothing really to hang on to. So we started doing these face to faces, and it was great. We loved because rugby league has changed so much, and you don't have to always be a nerd like Vossi or I or Lara, to love back in 1908.
Yeah.
But I think also there is still a space for people to be able to tell their stories and their journey. And I love nerding out so hard. So we've got one with Fat coming up.
Oh, great.
I love that.
So Fatty,
He's the best.
the best.
How good was he at the Manly launch?
Oh, yeah.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss him on the TV. I just miss the way he approaches footy. And you know what? Like he played the clown. He said, well, I had Rabs, who was the greatest caller. He goes, I had Sterlo, who had the biggest brain. He goes, the only thing left for me was to be the funny dude. And he actually sees rugby league a lot better than he lets on, but he's also so great and his timing and he's sharp.
Yes.
So we've got, it's actually, we're calling it the Chronicles of Fat. It's a 3-parter because his storytelling is so good.
I love that. Great, a 3-parter. I'm not surprised after that Manly launch that there's 3-part. He was like, there was 4 legends up there speaking and it was like Fat. He was the...
He had us about to run through a brick wall.
Yeah. Well, we're the only team that's won... We've won the most
Well, when
comps
Rugby
since-
League got fair income in the 70s,
in the 70s, we won the most comps.
no one's won more comps.
He's,
We've been rolling that out all year.
Yeah, we
So
have. That's our new tagline. Who again? I imagine a lot of preparations going into that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
for
that
you
one.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So I did Blocker the other day. We've got Max Krilich coming up. Yeah, I think, you know, some of them have been really exceptional.
Any standouts? Like any ones where you not that you want to pick favourites necessarily, but just ones where maybe you weren't expecting it to.
I think all of them, I come away from all of them just really grateful because their memories and their stories feels like a gift. Like when they start and you take them back to this game and they're like, yeah, of course. Or, you know, so like we did Brad Thorne and Mick O'Connor in the same day up in Brisbane. We just did a
Brad Thorne one was great.
Brad Thorne.
Brad Thorne one was awesome.
Like what I
just even though I
incredible-
kind of knew the story, I didn't know it in the sort of intricacy of the way that it all went panned out for him in terms of coming across to rugby and
so good. So I think, like, I'm really appreciative of all their stories. Like the one we did with Mal, where we took him back to his village, was incredible. And like we did Lockie the other day. Lockie was amazing. Like, yeah, it's they're all so great. And
do you give him a couple of butter menthols and a cup of tea before you start with Lockie?
well, I said you're so like, you know, your voice is like this whiskey thing. Have you ever thought about getting it fixed? He goes, well, there's a YouTube clip where it's, you know, his first voice, and then he got hit actually against the Bears at North Sydney Oval. Someone got him, and it was never the same. And he thought, oh, you know, they said we can fix it, but we won't do it until you retire. And then I think by the time he retired, it was almost like his trademark. And I know his wife really loves it too. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Well, you're looking back at the old video, like, let's keep this one, mate.
this is good.
I didn't realize they could fix it. I thought it was because like Ben Hunt's got it. I would be shocked if Seabold doesn't have it.
Jeff Tuvey.
Tuvs. I had no idea you could go in there and repair it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But
to know
why
if
would
you
you?
ever- Well, listen, I mean, not that I have any reason to expect it might happen to me, but if you're on a podcast and you start like that'd be unbearable, I would imagine.
Maybe, yeah.
Whatever peels your banana, I don't know.
Well,
I like it.
listen, that's it. Well,
I could listen to Jeff Tuvey all day, mate.
I could listen to Tuvs, yeah. I could certainly listen to Tuvs. I don't know about all day, but I could certainly listen to him for a little bit. What was it like going through a highly publicised signing coup where you get brought over from 9 to 5?
Oh, that was so embarrassing. So I don't know about anyone else. I'm really bad at contractual law. So, and I just,
Oh, no, we're experts.
Yeah.
Actually
Yeah,
really good.
no,
If you
we're-
need any help.
I thought if your contract ran out, you could just like go get another job. But that's not the way it worked out. And I loved my time at Channel 9. And then our boss, Steve Crawley, had left Wide World of Sports and he'd gone across to Fox, and he called me and he said, we've got a new 24-hour rugby league channel starting up. Do you want to come across? And I was like, well, I love it here, but I mean, 24 hours of footy sounds pretty good. And I thought, well, my contract's up at the end of this year. Yeah, I will, you know, I'll agree in principle. Anyway, so when I was coming to the end of my tenure at Wide World of Sports, and, you know, they weren't really sure how I was going to be used. And I said, well, listen, you know, thanks for everything, but I'll you know, contract's up, I might head over to Fox. And then they threatened gardening leave, which I'd never heard of before. I was
yeah.
like, what's that for?
For how long do they threaten it?
Like 12 months, I think.
Yeah,
But it
right.
was in my contract.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I don't know about anyone else. I'm living month to month. Like, I've got to work. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how that pans out. So I had to get a manager, which makes me sound like such a wanker. But just basically
No,
because I'm too
listen.
stupid to work out what my contract says.
Completely. We literally just got a manager. And
Yeah.
like, this is where we do not like we need one because we don't know what we're doing, but we're like we're podcasters. This is
Yeah, I know.
stupid.
I'm like, I'm an idiot as well. I'm like, please help me. So I got George Mimas, who was excellent, and he was able to help sort it out. And so I was able to I spoke to Gus and I spoke to everyone at 9. I was so sad to leave. But yeah, moving to Fox was definitely the right move, and it's been the time of my life. But yeah, that was really awkward.
It's like it's like when you become the story, you're like, oh fuck.
I would just, and it was just, again, because I was too dumb to work out. And bizarrely, the signature on the contract was Steve Crawley, because he signed me when I was at Wide World. And then he was like, and I was like, Crawls, have you still got a contract? Do you know what this thing is? He goes, nah. I was like, great.
Terrific.
Jet, what are we going to do? But it all worked out. And it's, Fox has been amazing. Even last night they dropped that Magic Round promo. Have you seen it?
Yeah, that was cool.
So we've got this, so Charlie Lambert does all our creatives, and we've got another young guy called Adam Speranza, and he's just been chipping away at it.
We know Adam. That's
we know
Spazzy.
Spazzy. We know Spazzy.
I wasn't going to say his nickname, but I'm glad you did.
No,
we know
Spazzy.
Spazzy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he, it was his baby that he got up and running.
That's great.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like even Pat Carrigan going, one for me, one for you.
Yeah.
And the kicker right at the end where Maddie Nable and Maddie Johns are like, we're looking for Suncorp Stadium. Got to go left on Caxton Street. Got it. And they drive away. And Ezra goes, who was that? So it's just
fun.
cool.
Like, it's fun.
Yeah,
It looks like a lot of
very
fun.
clever. And we're lucky like that at Fox. Like we've got really clever people involved, and it always feels really young and, in step with what's happening in the game. And, and we've got 360, which is the never-ending news cycle, and just very different.
Yeah.
Even like we had Trent Robinson, we were at Allianz on Saturday, and I said, mate, you lost Lindsay Collins, but your forwards were able to step up, Nafahu White, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, even people at this channel have questioned my forward pack. And I'm like looking and going, definitely wasn't Super Saturday.
No.
Like, it was definitely 360, like breaking his mates having a go.
Yeah. Getting everyone in trouble.
Yeah, I
Talking
was like,
shit.
it wasn't me.
Yeah. As a coach, I don't know why you'd watch 360 though. You know what I mean?
Oh no, you just get you frustrated.
You just
right?
get you pissed off.
Yeah.
They reckon they don't watch, but they do. Of
course they do.
They
Of course they
do.
Because that's how they know.
do.
That's how when Reedy was in
That's
that presser with Benji, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you think you know everything on TV, mate?" Reedy's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah. You only come out for the big guns.
Yeah.
He's
You only
like,
come after the big guns.
correct.
Yes, that is right. That's
You
right.
you obviously seem very comfortable at Fox at the moment. Do you ever see a world where you might get into some of the new age media stuff, podcasting or anything like that?
See, I told you guys at the season launch, I actually think I'm terrible talent. I don't think I've got much to offer.
that's rubbish.
I don't think it
it's
is at all.
rubbish.
And it's not
That
me
is
being
rubbish.
like, oh, guys, I think I'm bad. No, I actually don't think I've got a lot to offer. So
Well,
I'm always in awe.
respectfully disagree.
No, I'm always in awe of you guys. Like, you just sit down and it's so listenable. And, you guys are one of many who have done this so successfully. And it just goes to show the voracious appetite of fans out there for footy content. And you guys have your own style. Buy Round does their own thing. Bloke does his own thing. SEN's on, always going on about footy. It just goes to show how fans, there is no limit to the football that they will consume.
No, there isn't.
I think, and it's going to be very interesting to see. And I think with the broadcast deal and the rights, the media rights, how things change in the next sort of 18 months.
Yeah, it is. When is it? Are they in negotiations now? I should know this.
Yeah,
right?
they are.
Yep.
Because we've been constantly, anytime we have any slight opportunity to speak to PVL, we're like, give us, like, open up the
Let's use footage.
footage.
Yeah.
So, because like NBA, NFL,
Yeah.
anyone can use footage. They see it as like free promotion, whereas NRL, we get pulled down. We've tried it a few times, but we sometimes still, slips through to the keeper.
Listen. There was a couple of years there where
we just repurposed.
but they're
But it's so.
the letters have come now. So.
I know, which is so limited, right? Because you guys are only driving this juggernaut. So the way you turn vision around, and there's a few accounts that have done it really successfully, and then and then they say, oh, you can't use those
Can't
rights.
do it.
Which I don't know. I think that maybe once upon a time that was right, but it doesn't feel in step with how people are talking and viewing the game now.
It's also like there's the very conventional way that Fox or Nine will repurpose or repackage highlights, right? Which is great hits, great tries, whatever. But then there's like the creator's brain, which is Very different. Like there's one guy, I think it was Winston Neville. I don't know, but shout out to you, Winston, who just made like a 3-minute video of just Matt Burton's conversions. And it's like just the dumbest video of all time in terms of like, you've got to be a sicko almost to watch that much. But there's something very funny and dribbly rugby league fan about that. And you're limiting, like there's no reason to stop.
That's right.
To stop them being able to do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see. But that's the one that we've been pushing for. Oh, if God, that'd be
because the
sweet.
NFL's been like, you know, they're on ESPN, they're on CBS,
So
they're on
ABC,
Netflix on Christmas Day. They're on like it's all
yeah.
been siphoned off, and I think that's probably where rugby league is headed because you want the most money for your product, and no one can blame him for that. So yeah, there is an opportunity, and also the legislation coming through with wagering.
Yes.
That will change.
Stay away
things.
from podcasts. We're just trying to do our
I think
thing,
you guys
right?
will be sweet.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yes. No, just leave us alone.
Leave us alone. We're just here.
God's sake. Leave us alone.
Yeah. No, but that'll be interesting when that comes in.
When does it come in next year?
Don't know. I should know that. I think they're going to let the contracts run out naturally, but they won't be renewed.
Okay.
And it'll be, but there'll be something else. So there will be now a space where, say, you guys come up with an idea for a game show, for instance, for a footy game show or something, and you go to Sportsbet, Ladbrokes,
Neds,
Tabcorp, 365, whatever it is, Neds, and you say this is what we want to do, and then Neds fund the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
So then you can access it via that.
Different ways.
Yeah.
Creatively. You got to be creative. Now, this is coming out on Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you.
And to all the mums out there. How's it been balancing the crazy work schedule and being a mum? What's that like?
Great. Yeah. I mean, it's like I've Lara's got 3 boys. Jess has got kids. Millie Boyle's just had her little baby. Alana Ferguson's got kids. So you can definitely do it. And I think footy's really good for me because I'm basically just at home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I work on the evenings. Saturday, obviously Super Saturday. But outside of that, I'm just at home. So it's actually really good. And it's a really good balance. So, yeah, it's tough when, it's all good until someone gets the sniffles, right? And you can probably hear, I've got one now. And you're up at 2 and 3 and 4 and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Last night. That was me last night at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Still playing up.
Dude, 2 in the morning, bring her into bed and we're like, hopefully she's settled in bed and she's just sitting there just slapping me in the face.
What is that?
I'm like, what are you
Well,
doing?
if you're up at 2, I'm also up at 2, so I'll give you a buzz.
Yeah, exactly. You getting slapped in the face as well by your child? Yeah, perfect. But in the end, I just put her back in bed and my wife's like, we can't do it. And I'm like, Steph, she's going to shit. And I just turned the rain noise in our room up so loud that we couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she'll be fine. She'll settle. But that's it.
And
that's a mongrel.
Footy and family are so closely linked. Like all the blokes I work with, they've all got like tribes of kids. Like, they go 3 or 4 or more if they can. They love it. And they come in and it's funny. Like, I don't know, I've had a few moments in my life where I've been getting like parenting advice and really rock solid parenting advice from footy players. And I'm like, how can these guys be my mother's group? Like, this isn't right. This can't be correct. And like, because we used to live in Balmain and Kenty was my closest neighbour and I just had my first baby and I'd be pushing the pram around. I'd go have a coffee with Kenty. I was like, Kenty can't be my mother's group. This is so weird.
That's rugby league. That is
unbelievable. Kenty.
Yeah.
And he's terrific, by the way.
Yeah. He got good advice.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, babies love him.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great.
There you go. Again, shout out to Kenty.
Yes.
How do you find when you're on maternity leave that you're itching to get back, or is it a bit of a grind for you to get off the?
Oh no, I'm
get back up for
lucky.
it?
Yeah, I can pick it up and put it down.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I had my baby halfway through last year, so I just dipped out and watched footy on the lounge as a fan. Breastfeeding through most of the footy and spring racing carnival. Accidentally bought a share and a horse over an island on Cox Plate Day. Yeah, because I was miserable at home, because I hadn't left the house in months. And just sitting there, and it felt like everyone we knew was down enjoying Cox Plate Day. And got scammed by an email going, would you like a share in a Melbourne Cup run? And I was like, yes, I would. Nursing, I'm like, yes. Credit card details.
And so what, did you, is it a real horse?
It's
or
a
did
real
you-
horse,
Okay.
yeah. I bought a 2.5% in a horse called Defiantly. He's being trained by Joe O'Brien, and they're aiming him at day one of Royal Ascot.
You kidding?
Yeah,
wow.
I know. So, look, it ran stone motherless last the other day. So in Cork,
great.
So it's terrific form. Yeah,
Great
wonderful.
form.
Yeah.
Oh, Cork form's tough. Yeah. It's tough to go off Cork.
Yeah, it always has been.
It always has been. You can't get a good read on Cork.
And we had, I've got another little filly with an Irish trainer out at Hawkesbury called, her sire is King's Legacy, and she was called Camilla's Knickers. And the stewards have just sent us a letter saying she can't be
I was
called
about to
Camilla's Knickers
say,
anymore.
I didn't think that'd be.
But so you got that through.
We got it through, and now they're like winding it back. She's
How?
had a couple of
Camilla's
stuff.
knickers is unbelievable.
Distasteful.
Wow, listen, it's a bit of fun.
Yep.
There are some names. There's one Pingers. I don't know how that one got through.
Yeah,
I
with
don't
the
know what
Z,
it
I've seen it.
means.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm going to bet on it just out of respect. But I'm like, how the hell is this?
Is
name
it
got
ERS
through?
or AS? Do you remember?
I thought it was PING. Listen, I don't know this. I just remember seeing it or being sent it, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
What's the best race you won?
No, nothing. We've done. Oh, probably Bathurst.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The lofty heights of Bathurst.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
listen,
exactly
Bathurst is
We're all
in our
great.
books pretty high.
Yeah, no, that is very.
We've
high.
got one with the Freedmans at the moment called My Far Lady, and she's had a few really good wins up around Newcastle, which is good. But yeah, no major
nothing,
races to speak of.
Well, listen, we're just starting our horse journey, and I'm like, this is addictive. I can feel it. Like, I just want to keep.
Because you went to Karaka?
Yeah.
We went to Cracker, yeah.
we
Yes.
did,
Which was
great.
incredible.
Yeah.
We were the only people that were like hugging the animals, though. They were like, everyone was just like a Taiwanese billionaire making them walk around, and we were
Show
just
us a walk. Yep, sweet, 900 grand.
Yeah, I know.
we're like,
We actually was getting a bit nervous because we've flown all the way over there, and the first day we got blown out of the water by all this Hong Kong money. Like, we looked at these things we loved. The first thing we looked at, we loved this.
Yeah.
I can't remember. She was like a black.
it was like a
girl,
dark,
maybe, whatever.
Yeah.
And we had like a budget, it was around 100, and we're part of the syndicate, but that's what we had to spend roughly. We might have gone above that in a few bids. We're getting excited, but that went for like 450,000.
Well, that was our first bid. We went in there with a budget of 100 grand.
600 even?
No, we went in with a budget of 100 grand, and then at 190, and we're like, yep.
Oh, God. Put your hand down.
And we were like, and they've taken it. We're like, oh fuck. What are we doing?
Regrets.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, because because it's the first time we'd done it, and the idea is that we'd go over, we'd get it, and then we'd sell it to our audience. But we just no idea what the appetite would be like. Like very much a punt.
Any percentage not purchased would just fall on us to purchase. So we were like, fuck. Okay.
So we went and had a stiff drink and said, calm down. We came back the next day, got blown out in the morning, and we had to wait all day till like the last couple of lots, and we finally got our one. Thank God, everyone had gone home, which I think helped.
Yeah,
But it was stressful. We didn't want to come back to Sydney with nothing to show for our trip. So
The sales are such a exhilarating
Oh, yeah.
experience. Well, first time I got fired from TV, and I left Australia. I was like, I'm never working in TV again. I was
Where'd you get fired from?
7 Local News the first time.
Drinking on the job again?
No, I wish. And I quit TV. Thought everyone in TV was a bit of a wanker and didn't really like it and was never going to come back to it. Anyway, so went back to my first love of horses. So went and rode Warm Bloods in Denmark for a bit, and then went and prepped yearlings in Stratford-upon-Avon in England, and we sold our yearlings in Newmarket and Goffs in Ireland and Deauville in France.
there you go.
So it was amazing, and I love the whole sales environment and the prepping of the yearlings on the farm and the grooming and the parade and and then I was lucky enough to get picked up by Inglis, and we did a few of those yearling sales around
okay.
Easter, and it was. I just love the sales. I think it's an underrated part of the whole racing experience.
Yes. We're keen to get up to Magic Millions, actually. We hear good things about
Wild,
that. Yeah,
very
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Very fun.
You must keep Will and Richard on their toes.
Oh,
Because
do
you
you know
seem
what?
to know
Rich
what
only
you're talking
texted me-
about. We don't know anything.
No, exactly.
Rich only texted me last night. So we should have lunch. Like, he's such great company, and Will's like so
Will's great as well.
Yeah.
He's the best.
They're both lovely.
Yeah.
We really like them. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, no, you're so welcome.
We've loved it.
You
and
must
we've
be
been-
scraping the bottom of the barrel now.
No, we are
at all.
not.
We've been wanting to have you on for ages, and it was, to be honest, we get nervous asking people. We feel like we're being pains in the ass asking you to come
Not
on.
at
So
all.
we appreciate you taking the time.
No.
We've wanted you on for a long time, and it's been great. So you stop talking bad about yourself.
Yeah, you got to start talking yourself up a little bit more.
Yeah.
No, thank you for the
No bottom of the
invitation.
barrel.
It was great. It's been nice to see you guys in and around the game for so long now, and we're very much supportive of everything you guys are doing. And yeah, when we walk into work, we're like, oh, did you see what the hell is boys doing? It's cool. You're
Great.
doing
Thank you
really
very
cool
much.
stuff.
Appreciate
so
it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Could you two just not talk anymore?